And I think your show is going to be fantastic. I cannot wait to see it on YouTube. Be sure to share your link to your channel if you
No
can.
doubt.
The chat, that way we can all watch it, because I think everyone would be interested.
Yeah, sure. Let me get the name of my channel. I think it's just my name, but let me go make sure I find it.
Yeah,
right,
definitely.
Thank you.
Chat for us, or send it in the group text, as long as we all got access to it, because I think everyone here would want to see it.
Okay.
All right, so that moves. So in that case, we'll move on now to speaker number 2, who will be Crystal. Crystal, I'm not sure the content of your speech this evening, so I wish I could give you a better introduction, but I've really enjoyed the speeches that you've done so far. They're very motivating. So I expect something similar. I can't wait to hear what you got for us. So everyone give a round of applause for Crystal.
Thank you so much. For over 60 years, Bible Study Fellowship has been a meaningful experience to millions of people all over the world. Luckily for me, I've had the experience of Bible Study Fellowship for about 10 years now. You may be asking, what exactly is that? I'm sure it has to do something with the Bible, but what exactly is Bible Study Fellowship? Well, Bible Study Fellowship was founded over 60 years ago by a woman that was a missionary, and she wanted to encourage women and men to study the Bible in a 4-depth approach. You study it on your own through a series of questions, then you meet with other men and women to discuss it, and then you meet in a lecture room to have that passage reviewed with you, and then you take some notes home and go in depth with a review of what you studied that week. Now, when my friend Amelia first told me about BSF, I really just thought it was just another Bible study. I really didn't get into it. However, when I decided to go in 2011, I fell in love with this 4-fold approach. Once I started going, I was a regular participant. I came every week, almost every week, I should say, and tried to do my lesson. However, with life, there were some times that I wasn't able to consistently attend BSF. Fast forward to 2019, I was asked to become a group leader, and that really changed my perspective of BSF. Since I became a group leader, I have been able to really be consistent with my study, as well as impact so many women in my group, as well as in BSF in the Mobile area. Not only in the Mobile area, but in California as well. There's people in China that are studying what I am studying today, which I will be studying in about 15 minutes when I go to my group discussion. And so now that I am a leader, it's important for me to pray for my ladies, as well as encourage us to bond, which is the point of this speech. This speech is to talk about how I'm going to encourage my ladies to be a team and to pray for each other and to bond for the remainder of this year. So the purpose of this speech is to explain what is my team building activity. We have all class fellowships every semester, in a sense, with BSF. We have at least 1 or 2 every semester. We're about to have our last all-class fellowship. And right now we're talking about forgiveness, and we're talking about disputes between family. And it's important for us to really apply these concepts outside of BSF. So 2 of my activities that I plan on doing with my team is our Disney villains versus heroes. There's a PowerPoint that I will show, which I can't show you right now, but there's a PowerPoint that I will show the participants of BSF and have us just kind of go back in our kid days of those villains versus those heroes that we grew to love as children. And it's just something fun to do that I want us to kind of go back and reflect on and tie it into what we're studying now. We're studying Joseph and Potiphar's wife. And earlier we were studying how Jacob was with Laban. These are characters from the Bible, and it's basically disputes between families, villains, and heroes. So once we do this team building activity, I hope that it will allow us to bond further throughout this year. We have just a couple more weeks left But as a leader, I really want to finish strong. That is our team building activity. I believe after that particular activity, I'm supposed to give a second speech on how it goes. So I will do that too. Probably may not be at this club, but maybe another club. But I encourage you all to find out what BSF is. Of course, Toastmasters is a non-religious organization. There's so many different people here. People study the Bible just to have the intellectual or the history of some of the things that are mentioned in the Bible, or just wonderful principles about loving your neighbor and serving others. So that's the concepts that we all should know. We should all would want to do. That's why we're in Toastmasters. We serve each other. So I look forward to doing this team building activity, and I hope that my team, my group of ladies, will not only grow closer with God, but grow closer together. Back to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you, Crystal. I appreciate your time explaining BSF to us. As a guy who grew up in the South, I'm no stranger to Bible studies. I'm quite familiar with a lot of them. So you did a great job of explaining to me why I should consider BSF and why BSF is different, and as well as adding details to, like, what does BSF focus on? And I like that you took some time to tell us how you're a leader with that and what you've been doing with them. That makes me feel very confident and excited to have you within our Toastmasters group, because I can see you have a strong leadership background. Moving on to the next part of the evening, I'm going to call on our table topics master, Cheyenne, and she will start asking us some table topics questions, which I know is everybody's favorite part of the night. So without further ado, Cheyenne, ask us some questions.
All right, thank you. How much time do we have for table topics, just so I can kind of plan accordingly?
Let's do 2, Cheyenne.
Okay. All right, so can I get a volunteer? All right, David, thanks for volunteering. All right, so I'm going to ask you a would you rather question. All right?
Okay.
So, would you rather go into the past and meet your ancestors, or be able to go into the future and meet great-great-great-grandchildren? That is your question.
Thank you, Cheyenne. So would I rather travel into the past and meet my ancestors, or travel into the future and meet my great-great-great-great-grandchildren?
Or descendants, yes.
Or descendants. That's an interesting question. That really is. I think for myself, it's interesting in the fact that, as I've alluded to before in talking about meditation and living in the present moment, we spend a lot of our time in our minds in the past or in the future, wondering or worrying about what's going to happen, or regretting or reminiscing about things in the past. And I think if I had to pick one or the other, I would rather travel to the future, because I'm fascinated by the idea. I love science fiction, and I want to know what the world's going to be like. So I'd love to talk to my future grandchildren or whatnot, and learn about that. At the same time, the idea of traveling to the past is also incredibly exciting, because there's so much in my mind that I think about the past and what it was like, but of course I really have no idea, because I haven't lived it. It's like I can read a book about someone, but unless I really meet the person and live in their shoes and get to know them, all I've done is read a book. So that's a very interesting question, but ultimately all we have is this present moment. And so I'm going to stay in the presence, and I'm not going to worry about it or wonder about it, but I'm happy to be here in the present now. Thank you, Cheyenne.
All right, thank you. Yeah, that's a hard question, because I mean, both sound informative and interesting. Like I want to do both, and I'm very interested in the past, and history is one of my favorite subjects. So I would have a hard time choosing. So, but thank you for answering that. And Madid, I saw you put your hand up at the same time as David. So would you like to take the next one?
Yep.
Okay. Another would you rather question. Would you rather win the lottery or be able to live twice as long?
Yeah, this one is an easy one. Hello, friends. The question being asked is, would you win a lottery or live longer? Winning lottery seems very exciting, but when I studied some of the history of the ones who won the lottery, it's really fascinating. It's really different than what they actually live through. The expectations around go so high and become so unrealistic that the asset that you just got, everyone's expectation is 5 times more. So you cannot satisfy, and the realistic relations are getting lost because of that unrealistic money that you got. So looking at it, I'd rather go live longer, enjoy more vacation time, and enjoy more social security benefits in Florida on the beach, rather than getting $1 million and then losing immediate family or anybody and friends circles or as such. So that was my stand. Back to you, Shyam.
All right, thank you, Majid. That's a tough question for me to answer as well, because I'm like, I could be broke for twice as long or just live it out for like one good lifetime. So I don't know what my answer would be, but a lot of lottery winners meet unfortunate ends because people take them out for their money. So I'm like, I don't know, but thank you. And unfortunately, we have a shorter table topics tonight, but we had 2 great speeches in their place. So thank you guys. I'll turn it back to, I will not be diffident. I will become diffident now to relinquish it back to the tabletop or Toastmaster.
Thank you, Cheyenne. That was a good table topics, although it was short. They're very thought-provoking questions. It was really interesting to think about them and hear David and Majid's responses. So even though they were short, they were quality questions. All right, next on the agenda, we are moving on to the basically the evaluation portion of the meeting. So I'm going to start with introducing the general evaluator, Donovan, and then he will introduce his team of evaluators. So Donovan, I welcome you to the lecture. Let us know what you thought about the meeting.
Thank you. Thank you. First, I thought that we started a little late. We did have like a 10 to 5 minute recess with all the club business, but overall, the meeting went well. First off, I'd like to go ahead and ask Luke for his time report, please.
All right. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters. For the timers report, so Olivia, I had your introduction at 3 minutes and 1 second. I had your second speech at 58 seconds. And that also included your probably 10-second blurb about, you're going to have a PowerPoint up and everything. So I would roughly say about 48 seconds. And so in total, it was about 3 minutes and 48 seconds for both the introduction and the, introduction of the women. Crystal, I had you at 4 minutes and 52 seconds. David, I had your table topic at 1 minute and 42 seconds. And Majid, had you about 1 minute and 23 seconds. I apologize, I didn't pull up the green sign in time. And that is my timers report.
If I could interrupt for a minute, shall we do the evaluation for Crystal's speech so we can counter that too? I think she's also waiting for the feedback.
Okay. The next person I'd like to go ahead and call to elect on is the all-council. Maurice, will you give your report, please?
Yes, Donovan. Do you have something to say before you leave, Crystal?
Yes, I was going to say, if y'all don't have time to do the evaluation, well, I've got to log off anyway because my group is about to meet at 7:45. But if you could send the evaluation form for the BPE of my other clubs, that would be great. If you can, not now, but whenever you can, anyone, that would be great. I would greatly appreciate it.
All right.
I have my notes. I'll email it. I think I have your email. Let me email it to you, Crystal.
Yes, sir. Thank you. I
Thank you.
appreciate it. See y'all soon. Bye-bye.
All right.
Yeah.
Bye-bye. All right, back to the evaluation. Kyler, as Toastmasters, you had several uhs and like. Well, it's funny for Olivia because during the actual practice of her presentation, she didn't have any filler words, but when she was explaining what she had to do for her presentation, that's where she had her filler words, her uhs, so's, you knows, etc. But she didn't have it during when she was actually practicing her presentation. Luke had several filler words, as with Donovan and Majid, and Cheyenne had a few likes, and Crystal had a few, and David had one during his table topic, and Majid had a few during his table topics, and that's the all counters report.
Thank you, Maurice. The next person I would like to go ahead and call up to the lectern is the Gomillion. Carrie, would you please do your report, please?
Thank you, Donovan. I didn't detect any misuse of English or wrong grammar. And I heard that word of the day, diffident, from Kyla one time and Cheyenne and one time. And anybody else I don't think anybody may use it. And this defendant is a very different word to describe, very opposite meaning.
I think Olivia did it once. Yeah.
Yeah, I used it one time.
Yeah.
That's right. I'm sorry. And then back to Donovan. Thank you.
Thank you, Carrie. I know that Crystal left, so I don't know if Majid, out of confidentiality, would you be able to tell us Crystal's evaluation, please?
Sure. I know we are running over the time, but the few things that I wanted to share with her was her structure was very well, like when she started, like over from 60 years. So she started back in the time in 2011 and then 2019, and then she started the leadership, and then she went ahead with now I have in 15 minutes the next meeting. So it's live and started 60 years. But I liked her structure. And I felt like break on me, right, on the animation when she said that Disney villain versus Disney hero, but it could be on my end. But I missed that one part. And it was good that she had a presentation and trying to compare the animation. So it's always good to depict something out of it. So it's easier for the audience to understand. I think one of the area that I said, I mentioned that she could, she excelled before, and in this speech she had the opportunity, is her energy level and hand movement or body movement. She usually stands and inspirational postmaster for us. So I think that's one area I marked her down, that the energy level and more hand gestures, but she had a good body language as well. And she mentioned some of the good names of some of the prophets, Joseph and Yaqub. In Quran we call him Yusuf, and Jacob we call it Yaqub. So even the names are close when you compare to Bible and the Quran. But she related that to intellectual part and the history and the standards for the life, how we can derive lessons. So I think that was a very good way of driving her team building skills to narrating a positive sense that it can develop in real-time implementation in your real-time life. I mean, if you learn that lesson, you can implement it now in resolving some issues or building a stronger team. So I like that part. So I'll add these in her feedback and some of the points that I want to mention. Back to you, Jonathan.
Thank you, Majid. I just want to go ahead and relinquish the lectern back to the Toastmaster to close some of this off, and he will turn it to the active president, Luke. Thank you.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Just said Ari, I'm muted.
Oh, thank you, Donovan. I appreciate it. That was an excellent evaluation. It was prompt and to the point. You used your time quickly and efficiently. Last, we have an education overview. Do we have does anyone have an education overview for us this evening? I don't have a name listed by chance, but I didn't want to skip over someone if they had something.
I was assigned to educational overview, but I removed myself from that to do the speech. So okay. I'm sorry, I don't have anything prepared for it.
Okay, that's fine. Well, with the timing of everything tonight, I'm going to go ahead and turn the lectern back over to our president, Luke. It's been a great evening. I appreciate being your Toastmaster. Everyone did wonderfully. I appreciated the awesome speeches and the great table topics. And so now I'll turn the lectern back to Luke. Thank you.
All right. And to go ahead and start to close out the meeting and be mindful of everybody's time, just a couple things to pass. Kyler, thanks for being Toastmaster tonight. I thought you did a great job. Even with 0 introductions, you still made an introduction, and I thought that was really, really good. I know the meeting tonight was a little different. I know that we had a shorter table topics and we're running over time, but that is what we're here for. And Olivia, I'm really happy that you got to practice. We want to support you in your public speaking endeavor and the talk show in any way we can. And so, I hope the feedback helped tonight. And at any time, if you ever need to practice anything, and this goes for anyone, if you need to practice anything or you just want to share something, or it doesn't matter what it is, this is the platform to do it. And so please speak up, and we can definitely, fit you in, just like we did tonight. And that goes the same for Crystal. I know she's not here, but when she speaks, it's always motivational. It's normally just great life advice, just like her speech to the football team that she did here. So all in all, I thought we had 2 great speeches, and I know we didn't have a long table topics, but I think it was worth it because I think it was just a really good positive meeting. Olivia, I know we kind of touched on it. Kyler touched on it. I want to support you in your talk show. I don't have Facebook, and I've never had Facebook. So I would love to somehow watch if I could. I just don't really know how. So, if you could get that link to the club, if you won't. Okay, you did? All right.
I put my name of my YouTube page is just Olivia Haston-Carter, but I'm probably going to shorten that to just Olivia Carter. I don't know. Who knows what my name will be? I might be the next Cleopatra or something. I don't know. Yeah, but okay, I will definitely send you guys a link to YouTube once I post it.
Okay, and your talk show, is it tomorrow?
Tomorrow at 7 p.m.
At 7 p.m. Okay, perfect. Well, Olivia, we wish you luck, and you're going to do great because you did really good tonight. And so, yeah, we're excited for you. Lastly, Wes, so since we did vote to have a meeting after Easter Sunday, we will have our club coach here, Wes Holstrom. So I encourage everybody who can join to join. If you cannot, that is completely understandable. And I hope you have, a good relaxing Monday to, spend, with family, friends, or just, relaxing after Easter Sunday. So, but next week, Wes, the club coach, will be here, and we'll give him a platform to introduce himself. And I kind of been speaking with him on some topics that, I want to present to the club, such as club membership. It sounds like Crystal Lockett, Brandon O'Brien, and some of these guys that I've been speaking to are actually adding members right now. And they've added like 6 or 8 members, if I'm not mistaken, during COVID. And that's something, you know, that we've kind of struggled to do. You know, we've had visitors, but only 1 or 2 stuck around for a little bit, and they're actually adding members right now, but it's all online. And so that's the part, as your president, I fail because I'm not very good with the online stuff, because obviously I have trouble every meeting with some kind of technical difficulty with Zoom. But anyway, Wes is going to talk to us about that, and I'm looking forward to it. So I'm going to quit talking now at 7:53. Does anybody have anything to pass to the club before we get off?
Remember, if you haven't gotten your free path, go ahead before Wednesday, the end of Wednesday, to get your free path.
Thank you, Maurice. I
If you
appreciate
have
that.
an innovative path, you can just select one of the new path, and while the old path is still running.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
I'll just add, I mean, we're still a viable group. I think a lot of clubs, of course, have been struggling. Some have even disbanded. So I wouldn't use the word failure. I think we're doing fairly
I think so
well.
too.
Yeah,
Yes.
number-wise, we're still above the minimum. So even though we dropped a little bit.
Luke is always real hard on himself. I don't know what that's about, but cut it out, Luke. We're doing good.
Yeah.
You're doing wonderful.
I guess I shouldn't use the word failed or failure, you know, but I know for advertisement wise, as a president, I haven't done much. And there's definitely things that I feel like I could be doing better, but you know, life gets in the way and you do the best you can. So anyway, I'm looking forward to, and to be honest, we're actually doing great. And I'm not just saying that because I accidentally used the word failure. We really are, compared to all the other clubs. Like some of the ones that I think Wes just came from, they disbanded. The one in like, it's not Gulf Shores, it's like Gulf Breeze. So they literally disbanded. And so now he's coming over here, and you know, I told him that we have a great group, and I'm excited with our club. I just, you know, felt that maybe I could be doing better on recruiting new members. But anyway, we'll get a little speech on that and see what we can do, you know, as a club together.
I have one question. I guess we can say the mid. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. I was just calling your name.
Oh, I was going to say, I guess we can say the meeting is adjourned at 7:55. If that's okay with you, I'll write that time down in my minutes. My question is,